You wake up. Before your feet even touch the floor, the screen in your hand lights up. A dozen notifications, 100 opinions, 1,000 pictures of lives you aren't living, of success you haven't achieved, of crises happening thousands of miles away that you can do absolutely nothing about. You carry the weight of the entire world in your pocket. The anxiety creeps into your chest before you've even had your morning coffee. We live in an era of constant overthinking, a hyper-connected maze where we are endlessly tethered to the actions, words, and approvals of strangers. We compare our messy realities to perfectly curated digital illusions. We care so much. We care about the likes, the traffic, the economy, the gossip. We spread our emotional energy so thin that when it comes time to care for ourselves, the reservoir is completely empty. But what if I told you there is a way out? A way to walk through this chaotic modern marketplace with an armor of absolute tranquility. Today, we are going to explore the profound ancient art of not caring. Not apathy, not giving up, but a powerful, deliberate detachment from the things you cannot control. To understand this freedom, we must travel back nearly 2,000 years to a man who understood the lack of control better than anyone. His name was Epictetus. He was not born a king or a wealthy aristocrat. He was born a slave. His very physical body was legally owned by someone else. He could be beaten, traded, or exiled, and eventually he was. Yet Epictetus became one of the most liberated minds in human history. How? By discovering a mental framework that made him untouchable. He called it the Dichotomy of Control. In its simplest, most profound form, the Dichotomy of Control states this: some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But within this quiet phrase lies the ultimate blueprint for human peace. What is up to us? Our thoughts, our impulses, our choices, our will to act, and our will to avoid. In short, whatever is our own doing. And what is not up to us? Our bodies, our property, our reputation, the economy, the weather, the opinions of others. In short, whatever is not entirely our own doing, we suffer because we blur this line. We attach our deepest happiness to the things on the wrong side of the ledger. We desperately try to control the uncontrollable, and when we fail, as we inevitably must, we feel anxious, defeated, and broken. The Stoic art of not caring is the art of radical acceptance. It is looking at the vast, unpredictable ocean of the world and saying, I cannot control the waves, but I can completely control how I steer my ship. When you truly internalize this, the heavy baggage of the world drops from your shoulders. You stop caring about the storm, and you start caring entirely about your own navigation. Let's make this practical. Lesson number 1. Detaching from circumstances through the traffic jam of life. Imagine you are driving to an important meeting. You left early. You prepared perfectly. But suddenly, brake lights illuminate the highway, a sea of red. You are stuck in gridlock. Minutes tick by. The meeting time approaches and you are not moving an inch. What is the instinctual modern reaction? Anger, frustration. You grip the steering wheel until your knuckles turn white. You honk the horn. You curse the drivers around you. Your blood pressure spikes. You play out worst-case scenarios in your mind. But let us pause and apply the Stoic lens. Can your anger move the cars in front of you? Can your stress magically clear the highway? Can your anxiety turn back the clock? No. the traffic is entirely outside of your control. By allowing the traffic to ruin your peace, you are essentially handing over the keys to your emotional state to random strangers on a highway. You are letting a situation you cannot change dictate the condition of your soul. The Stoic driver looks at the traffic and accepts it as a neutral, indifferent fact. The traffic simply is. The delay simply is. What is in your control? Your reaction. You can choose to use this time to listen to an audiobook, to breathe, to practice the rare virtue of patience. You detach from the outcome of arriving on time, and instead, you attach to the character you display while waiting. You stop caring about the delay, and you start caring about your composure. Whenever you face an unchangeable external delay, a canceled flight, a rainy wedding day, a sudden market crash, remember the traffic jam. Save your energy. Do not fight reality. Accept it and shift your focus back to the driver's seat of your own mind. Lesson number 2, the social media mirror and detaching from the judgments of others. We are biologically wired to care about the opinions of our tribe. In the ancient world, being cast out of the village meant isolation and death. Today, this survival instinct has been hijacked by a glowing rectangle. We post a picture, share a thought, or state an opinion, and then we sit back and wait for the digital village to pass judgment. We count the likes. We obsess over the single negative comment in a sea of positive ones. We compare our unfiltered, behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's carefully constructed highlight reels. We hand our self-worth over to thousands of people we've never even met. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once observed a strange paradox of human nature. He wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." The Stoic recognizes that another person's mind is completely outside of their control. People view you through the lens of their own biases, their own unhealed traumas, their own insecurities, and their own limited perspectives. You could be the ripest, most delicious peach in the world, and there will still be someone out there who simply hates peaches. To master the art of not caring here, you must withdraw your desire for external validation. When someone criticizes you unfairly, visualize their words as a small stone thrown at a massive mountain. The mountain does not care. It does not shrink. It remains unmoved. When you find yourself endlessly scrolling, feeling a pang of inadequacy because someone is on a lavish vacation while you are working late, remind yourself their path is not your path. Their timeline is not your timeline. Your character, your integrity, your kindness, your daily effort, these are within your control. How others perceive these traits is not. Divest your emotional stock from the opinions of others. When you stop caring about the applause of the crowd, you finally have the silence required to hear the steady, authentic voice of your own conscience. Lesson number 3, the anchor of action. There's a dangerous misconception that Stoicism is passive. People believe that if you don't care about outcomes, you just sit around, do nothing, and let life happen to you. This couldn't be further from the truth. The Stoic cares deeply, but they care only about the process, never the prize. Think of the ancient Stoic metaphor of the archer. An archer strings his bow. He accounts for the wind. He calculates the distance. He draws back the arrow with perfect form, takes aim, and releases. But the exact moment the arrow leaves his fingers, his control completely ends. A sudden gust of wind could blow the arrow off course. The target could suddenly move. The archer knows this. Therefore, his success is not defined by hitting the bullseye. His success is defined by shooting to the absolute best of his ability. Apply this to your modern life. You prepare for weeks for a massive job interview or a business pitch. You study the market, you dress impeccably, you speak articulately, but you do not get the offer. Perhaps the interviewer had a nephew who needed the position. Perhaps the company suddenly froze their budget. If your happiness was tied to getting the job, hitting the bullseye, you are devastated. You feel like a failure. But if your happiness was anchored entirely to the effort, drawing the bow with perfect form, you remain at peace. You did everything within your power. The outcome belonged to the wind. Detach from the results. Stop obsessing over the promotion, the grade, or the viral video, or the ultimate victory. Care only about doing your absolute best in this present moment. When you anchor yourself to your own actions rather than the world's unpredictable rewards, failure loses its sting. You become truly invincible, because the only person who can define your success is you. The art of not caring is not a retreat from the world. It is a triumphant, clear-eyed march into reality. It is the deep realization that the world will always be noisy, unpredictable, and entirely out of your hands. People will be unfair. Trains will run late. The rain will fall when you want the sun. The opinions of the masses will shift like the wind. But within you lies a fortress, an inner sanctuary where no external force, no harsh word, and no stroke of bad luck can enter without your explicit permission. When you stop caring about everything outside of your control, you free up a massive, limitless amount of energy to care profoundly about what actually matters. Who you are, how you act, and what you choose to focus on right now. Take a deep breath. Let the noise of the world fall away. Claim your mind back from the chaos. If you found value in these ancient words, and if you are ready to stop letting the world dictate your peace, I invite you to subscribe to Stoic Mindset. Join us, and together we will continue to build that inner sanctuary, exploring the depths of philosophy and the quiet power of a controlled mind. Until next time, stay calm, stay focused, and remember, the only thing you truly have to master is yourself.